You're listening to Maximum Medicine Radio with host Doc Martin. Stay tuned in or call in. You won't want to miss what's happening next. How do you step into your maximum potential? How do you connect your spiritual drive with your physical path? Stick around as Doc Martin takes listeners on a journey through the seen and unseen, the accepted and the unbelievable. Get ready to meet the maximum you the world needs on Maximum Medicine Radio with Doc Martin now. Hi, everybody. I'm Doc Martin, Maximum Medicine. Happy New Year. This is 2024. It's going to be big. So I want to tell you the background for this show. I'm joined with Dr. Pat, founder of Transformation Talk Radio, which will now be Transformation Talk Network, and Jesica Henderson, who you can't see, senior producer at TTR/TTN. But I wanted to tell you why I thought the topic of this show should be several things. I'm joined by two very powerfully tuned in women, intuitive women, whose whole mission in life is to put forward things to help us change our thinking, our behavior, our actions. And I thought we could come together, because this is one of the big themes for 2024, community. I thought we could come together and share with you our thoughts for the new year, and then tell you stuff that you probably don't know behind the scenes about Transformation Talk Network and the powerful way it is helping to steer our culture, our thinking, our behavior, all in the positive direction. So Dr. Pat, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Yay, yay. And Jesica, I know we can't see your lovely face, but thank you so much for being here.
I'm absolutely thrilled to be here. Thank you.
Can you give us a round of applause for yourself, please?
Louder.
Yay! Oh,
this is going to be so fun.
It's already a riot. So we're going to start out, and we're going to each of us share what we're sensing is coming for 2024. Because my personal sense, this has been building. This year has been building. And so I want to start and ask Dr. Pat. If you don't know already, she's unbelievably intuitive. And let's get her take first, and then we'll have Jess's take, and then I'll give you my take. So DRP, what about 2024?
2024 is the year of more. And what do I mean by that? It's very clear to me. That came to me intuitively. And, Sharon, thank you so much. It is such an honor to take this journey with you. And, many people have heard us talk about where you are and where you are. And this is, I don't even want to call it, it's not even another chapter. Okay, so here's the intuitive hit for me. It's not a chapter. It's another book. It's a blockbuster movie year. And I'm not kidding. When I say it's the year of more, it's the year of expecting more. And what I mean by more, M-O-R-E, what I'm saying is manifesting opportunities, realized expansively. That's what more means to us. And, when I talk to people, they do expect more. But yet there's this benign thing that holds us back. And so I had a coach once say to me a really long time ago, when I lost a table tennis match to the US #1 player, which disqualified me from being on the US team. Nobody expected me to beat her. I was beating her. And something was said to me, and my coach said to me, Pat, here's what shifted for you, and you really need to be mindful of this through your entire life. You got to the point where you stopped playing to win. You were playing not to lose.
Big difference.
That's what we've been doing for the past 4 years, and some people longer. That's not the energy of 2024.
No, I completely agree. Jess, bring us in with your take or a segue from DRP here.
So yeah, I'll say that, and I would say I think we're ready for more. You know, everything in the last 3 years, I think, you know, chaos is a word that describes it for me, and I think we're ready for the other side of that. The other side of all the expansion we felt that we all put off. And now it's just bubbled in a way that it's exploding. And I think about that for myself personally, not just the network. I've got my own personal goals this year, and I just have felt this drive and this pull to do more for myself than I've ever felt before. And I think it's because I felt like I was put on a pause, and now I'm like, no more. I'm ready. Let's go. And I'll say to the people I'm talking to as well. I mean, I had one of our hosts call me today who hasn't started her show yet and had kind of put things off and put things off and put things off. And she said, okay, it's me. I'm ready. Let's go. And she's like, I am fired up. I am ready. I'm prepared. I'm ready for the world, and the world is ready for me. And that was her energy. And I feel like we're all feeling that in a way.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think also when I look at it, when I think about and there are lots of things we've actually had to endure in the last 3 to 5 years. And I think seeing those daily life challenges, working within them, distracted us from, and I'm just saying what you guys said maybe a little differently, distracted us from that current of our essence that was flowing, the river in us that was just a trickle, and then a gurgling brook, and then we've got a creek, and then we've got a river, and we are on our way to the ocean. So this is that current of energy that's been building. I think we were distracted. And once we survived the last few years, because believe me, for me anyway, being in an office with sick people really since 2020, we were just surviving. But now we're saying, listen, we made it through that, and that is just distracting us. And here we've got this bubbling energy inside, and we're going to say, screw it to the craziness out there and just lock in. It's like we locked and loaded, and I don't mean that in a gun violent way. So anyway, Dr. Pat, what do you think about all that?
I agree with Jesica. I think that this was I want to talk about 2023 for a minute, because I think I have to put it in perspective for myself. But I'm like Jesica, this is a year of personal things for me. My list isn't long, but it really is expansive for me. Everything from now getting out from under the shadows of what we've been building, to step back out into the world with the message that I want to deliver. And doing that is doing all the work for myself. Sharon, you're going to laugh. All the work that I've done for all y'all, now I have to do for me. It's so much easier to do for other people. But the most important thing is I have to think back on 2023. And this is what I want to say about it. I studied job insecurity and psychological contracts, and you put them together for 10 years. And I reflected upon this as I came across one of my research papers, and here's the punchline. 2023 was the year of life insecurity. Here's what I mean. You're coming out of 2022, and it's like, are we done or are we not? Are we in? Are we out? Are we back to work or are we not? Do we wear the mask or we don't? And it was that year. It was the year of, is there solid ground ahead of me, or is that really a cliff? And it was for so many people, and it reflected in everything, Doc Martin. It reflected, and you know this, you know this better than Jesica and I, but it reflected in us. The good news I want to share is that I was totally distracted by being able to help bring my best friend back to life, alive and well. And what I mean by distracted is distracted to be of service of somebody else. And for those of you out there that have been of service, like Sharon, like Jessica, if you have been out in the world and if you have been of service, you're going to feel the deep gratitude that you've experienced this year and being able to help people. But when you're in that place of gratitude, you're not in the place of self-pity, and you can focus on things that are important. And 2023 was that for me. It's not like I shifted priorities. My priorities got bigger. The risks that I'm taking now are bigger. The investment risks in the company are bigger. They're bigger. They're just bigger. And they're bigger, as we say, more, because we've up-leveled our belief. See, and I think for me, when I say 2024, the year of more, it's more joy, it's more peace, it's more abundant, it's more conviction. The strength of your conviction and who you are and who you want to become. If you don't have that nailed down, I'm going to sell you. I'm going to sell you a nail and hammers. That's the thing that will make the difference this year. And when I look back, I have to thank Jessica and the team for holding the fort down. How can you be any more grateful? You know, the boss leaves on a very important mission, and you're now day to day juggling almost everything she did. And I got to tell you, stepped up to the plate beautifully, because when I step out on my own, Jessica will run this. That's what will happen. TTR, TTN, whatever you want to call us, we're not going away. The baton gets passed, because each of us has to be on a mission and a purpose to look at the bigger picture in life. I think that's what I'm feeling.
Yeah, I completely agree, because for me, 2023 was as if we got to practice in the challenges of life, and we saw that we could do it. And then we're like, well, yeah, but if I can do this, I can do more.
Yeah.
So let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back and talk about, well, I want to talk about more, because there's energies of 2024 I want to talk about. So we'll just take a quick break. Hi, everybody. I'm Doc Martin, Maximum Medicine. We're back. I'm with Dr. Pat, founder of the Transformation Talk Network, and Jesica Henderson, senior producer. And we're talking about 2024. And for those of you who have read up on it or heard about it, in Chinese New Year, Asian New Year, this is the year of the dragon. And we're going to talk more about the dragon, because I love this. And this is the year of the wood dragon. So now we'll talk a little bit more about that. So, Jessica, the energies of 2024, what are you feeling, those energies? What are we being called to bring forth?
So I feel a couple of words come to mind, and one is peace, one is compassion and understanding, because that's, for me, like going back to what I said before, like coming out of, what I felt was a lot of chaos. I think we're all really being called to stand in our power, but peacefully and compassionately. And I think that there's a way to do that. And I think that there's, an opportunity to do that, especially with, there's a lot of really good, expansive things. And, that doesn't mean crazy doesn't still happen in our world. You know what I mean? There's going to be day-to-day stuff that comes up. And I think we're, really being asked to meet that head on, but in a peaceful and compassionate way. And I think that's how the more is going to happen that Dr. Pat talks about.
Dr. Pat?
Let's talk about the dragon for a minute, because Jessica said it, the year of the dragon. This is the wood dragon. Just to give you all like a snapshot of this, is that energy we felt. I don't know when, Jessica, you and I talked about it, but we felt some shift. I don't know when it was, like, I don't know, September. So I don't know. I can't pinpoint it. Maybe one of the eclipses, but maybe one of the full moons, but we felt it. And it's hard to describe energy, but when you talk about this wood dragon, here's what you come to. This is a symbol of prosperity. It is a symbol of unconditional, unbounded. You know, when you think about this, the people born in this, I don't know who those people are, but the people born in this, with this energy, they are energetic. You know, they are ambitious. They're also charismatic. They are the people that you think about. But when you think about this year being it requires all of us, though, to
Mhm.
do something. See, I think 2023, at least the beginning part, we put our toes in the water and we said, is this over? And then we put our foot in. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. There's still water there.
Mhm.
And now we've moved through something incredible. And so this energy, and let's call it energy, dragon energy. We know what dragon energy is. Oh my gosh, come on. Like another HBO Dragon series, which is unbelievable. House of Dragons. So, what is it about this? Even if you're not Chinese, but what is it about the energy that people are feeling? And I think when I think about more, it's what this is about. It's good fortune, it's authority. It's what did Jessica say? It is stepping in your power. But I have to tell you, I started a nonprofit in 2023 out of nowhere. And it's called, I changed the name, but it's called Voices in Empowering Women, because we need to have a powerful voice, whether you're men or you're women, but you need to have a powerful voice. This is not the year where you go silently in the night. And we've gotten silent. We've gotten silent about things. Our network is not doing that. We have finished our technology. It gives us the ability to add as many channels as we want on as many topics. It allows us to really bring that message of transformation to the world. And it's not always Pollyanna positive. This is real talk. The difference, I think, between what people may see in us and who we are is, yes, we're positive centric, but man, we will get down in the weeds and get real about what's happening in headlines. Some of our hosts are doing fabulous shows on racism. Look at you, a medical doctor, a Ph.D., a shaman, a best-selling book author. You see, this is what we're talking about. This is the year to rip the duct tape off your mouth and
Let me tell
energize
you about
yourself.
dragons. I'll give you my experience with dragons. In 2008, I went to Sedona with a group of women, spiritual retreat. We hiked up on the Red Rock, and our hiking guide led us in a meditation to connect to dragons. And I'm telling you, I felt this energy, powerful, powerful energy. And since that time, I've been working with dragon energy as my actually my deepest spiritual guide to this point in my life. I'm also in a spiritual community that is studying the energies of magic as a integral force of the universe that was really pushed separate from humans long ago, and to integrate those alchemical powers back in with humanity. So what does that mean? Sounds like a bunch of words. The times where we have the miraculous, where 1 + 1 is 3 or 5 or 100. Dragons are a force of the universe. They are one of the original energies of the formation of the earth. The ones I connect to are embedded in the earth. They are the guardians of the earth. They are creator energy. But dragons can transcend space and time. And dragons can slip in between the cracks of what looks like reality and be off in a different dimension. Dragon energy is what can be here in 2024 that everyone can taste and everyone can use to work, use it to work with, because this is where you can create the miraculous You call the dragon energy to help you. You work with it. I'm going to just remind everybody, my favorite things is you have to do it with respect and gratitude, or ciao baby, they're gone. But that is the ability to make 1 + 1 = 100 or 1,000 or 10 million. Dragon energy is powerful. It is an energy of prosperity. It's an energy of getting things done. It is an energy of creation. And there are water dragons, air dragons, earth dragons, celestial dragons, whatever you want to meet and talk to and build a relationship with. But this is Dragon Year, and I'm all for it because these guys are seriously powerful and they can work with you. So anyway, bring on the dragon.
I want to know what Jesica thinks about dragons, because I've not heard Jesica talk about them very often.
So it's actually, I didn't know any of this about dragons before preparing for this show, so I was excited to learn more. But also, it's interesting because, you know, they're this mystical, magical creature when you watch TV shows, right? And they're so powerful. And so that's what I've always just associated them with. And so when somebody says dragon energy, that's where my mind goes, is mystical, magical, and powerful. And I think that's why so many of us are drawn to dragons in shows, or, you know, we got Linda, who's got like a gazillion figurines of them in her house. Like, you know, if you start to, you know, ask yourself those questions, why am I drawn to that? And that's the energy of it. And I think for those of us that are new to even tapping into what energy even means, that's why it's kind of exciting to then learn the meanings behind these things and why you may be drawn to something and not really understand or know why.
I think also we're coming back as humans to not brush off the magical world, not to just think it's something that people make up when, or your kids are living in fairyland. It's a real dimension. It's a real set of energies that exist on the earth. In fact, many cultures believe in magical beings, Iceland and the hidden folk, and the fairies in Ireland, and you can go on and on. The energies of magic, of which dragons are probably one of the big cheeses in the magical realms, that is something that humans can reconnect with. And I think we're going to need that magical, transformative energy for the challenges we're facing, because I don't think our old style human thinking is going to do it. So I'm really excited about 2024.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just us talking about it. I mean, almost everything I've read from numerologists, you know, they call it an epic year. They talk about the energy update on it. I mean, Lee Harris was even talking about it. I was like a little surprised, but, you know, talking about the idea of what this means, you know, the year ahead. I'm not talking about forecast. I am talking about energy. I'm talking about the energy of the year. And the real question is this for all of us. It's great for me to think about 2024, the year or more, but what am I going to do to make sure that body, mind, spirit, emotional levels, what am I going to do to make sure that I'm up for it? You know, what am I going to do on a day-to-day basis to make sure that I'm prepared for what's already been delivered, but that which I can't see? And I think that's the cool thing. You see, this dragon is about luck. It's about power, nobility, and fortune. Are we ready for it? Are we prepared for it?
I want to talk about this more, Pat. Let's take a break, and when we come back, let's talk about how are we going to be prepared for this. So let's take a short break. We're back. I'm Doc Martin, Maximum Medicine Radio, here with Dr. Pat, founder of the Transformation Talk Network, and senior producer Jesica Henderson. And we're talking about stepping in to more. And how are we going to prepare ourselves? How are we going to make the most of the opportunities and the energies coursing through us to bring forward more and more and more? Jesica, what do you think? Give us your take on that.
Oh, yippee, I get to go first.
Is that okay? Do you
I
want
love
to?
it. No, I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll tell you,
Okay.
I am excited for your answers as well. But so this is a thing I've just started this weekend. So I have to tell you this by telling a mini story. So
Okay, good.
last week, I have this mentor. She's also my boss. And she, really insinuated to me, a lot more tactfully than this, but basically told me I need to really think about my emotional intelligence and how I'm handling things. And so I watched Kung Fu Panda, the cartoon,
I love that.
and I realized that that's what I need to do is funny, he's the Dragon Master. I didn't even make that connection till just now. But I need to channel my inner Dragon Master Po. And so I'm not on camera, but what he does is when he puts up his hands and he's channeling his inner, master, absolute Zen skill. So what he does, for those of you who haven't seen the cartoon, he's like this clumsy like panda, and but then all of a sudden he'll like get in this Zen zone and then be masterful at what he does. And so I realized that's what I need to do, because I can personally be masterful at what I do, but I'm not when I'm in my clumsy panda phase. So what I've done now, and I just shared this today, I was like, what I'm going to start doing, so people around the office probably going to think I'm a little nutty. I'm going to put up my hands and say, I am the river, I am the rock. And it's like my own like way to just bring myself inward and get completely grounded, completely zen, to then be able to do whatever mastery it is I need to do. And I think that that's a message for everyone, is to really think about, instead of just reacting and going and doing because we're so excited about more, how do you come inward first and get really clear, really calm, really dedicated to whatever that is, and then go out and do it in a masterful way. So that's my take on it.
Ooh, Master Po. Awesome. So I'm going to share what happened to me. I think it was September. Now, anybody who's even got a hint of what I'm like, I'm impatient, I'm fast moving, I don't sit still very well. And that gets me in trouble sometimes. And that I can get triggered, especially at work when things are totally hectic. But something happened to me in September. I had interviewed a guest who lives at Ananda, which is a spiritual community founded by Yogananda's teachings. And I happened to get on the website and look at a video that had a meditation called Hong, H-O-N-G, Saw, S-A-U, meditation. Now, I don't sit still to meditate. You have to know I do visual guided meditations. I can visualize incredible stuff, but to sit still in the void, that is not me. Never, well, didn't used to be me. And that something happened that hooked me on the very first time I did it. It was a 13-minute guided Hong Saw meditation. I was hooked, and I was eager to do it again. I can't believe I'm saying this. 20 minutes a day. I also can't believe I took 20 minutes to hold still. And something changed and things started changing. And I would start to get triggered. And all of a sudden, Jess, exactly what you said, I got pulled inward to that peaceful place, to that place where you can see the big picture and all this little stuff it's nothing. It's just blips on the radar screen. And I'm telling you, I was changed, and I have been changed by that. And that has brought me to as Pat said, you know, when you find that place in you to then step forward, and I'm doing things I've never thought I would ever do in my life under the mentorship of Pat and the help with Jesica. I'm actually applying several places to give a TED Talk. You couldn't have even told me 2 years ago that that would have even been in my horizon. So for me, I came inward as well, but perhaps a little different way than you, Jess, but it's made a huge difference. So that's how I'm going to support myself to make the most of the opportunities to step into, to come from that calmer, higher self place. Pat?
I love this. So, Jessica, bottom line, I was really projecting when I gave you that feedback because my experience of 2023, although I'm so grateful for it, it challenged me emotionally. And I found myself in not just helping my best friend in the only way I knew how, but all of you helped her. I mean, I called you to help me because we almost lost Linda.
Mhm.
We really did. And I just don't have words for that. But what I found myself in was a very awkward, supportive service role for someone else in the family. And I noticed that the stress of all of that took me off kilter.
Mhm.
And it brought me back to the kid growing up in the Bronx, right? That never left her house without some way to protect herself, right?
Mhm.
And I was made aware that that's not me and that's not my life. But here's what I want to really say about it. This year, from a horoscope, from an astrological perspective, Libra and Sagittarius, Jessica and me, this is according to people, right? This is the checklist. If you're on this list, this is the year. And I was telling one of my coaches, it's Leo, Libra, Sagittarius, which is me, Aquarius,
That's
Pisces.
me.
Okay. These, for you, inventive spirits will be guided towards a joyous journey in 20. This is all about, I didn't read this to you, but everything you said about what your experience is, boom, this is it. You put unparalleled ideas, creative powers out of the box. In Jessica's case, it's fascinating because it talks about Libra holds great promise for happiness and joy, but harmony and balance is the secret ingredient. For me, it's none of that. It's hold on tight. I mean, this is what it says. Hold on tight because this is an exhilarating ride. Now, here's the thing I want to share. I'm talking to two of my coaches. I spend very little time with them. They're very expensive. I only do 15 minutes a pop. Thank you very much. But it's worth every minute. Both of them, very differently and very not emotionally intelligently, said, "You're blah, blah kidding me. Blah, blah, blah. Can't say those words. You're ridiculous." And I was going to cry. And they said, "Pat, you are planning the most important, pivotal, personal, and career year of your life. Balance is not on your calendar." And he said, "Look, anyone that's working towards a higher order goal, balance is not your friend." And he said, "You told me that, Pat. You're the one that told me you don't believe in balance." I said, "I don't." He said, "But it's harmony." And he said, "You have to pick one or two things that bring you joy, and the rest has got to be work." And I I was, and then I got on the next call, and the other guy said almost the same thing because he said, "Listen, this is the year. You're either going to do it or you're not. You cannot not meet a goal." He said, "I don't care what it is, Pat. When you start 2024 and you put a goal on paper, it's not negotiable." And both of them said, I'm going to get on a plane. The other thing they said, it doesn't matter what the goal is. You want to lose 5 pounds, you need to lose it. You want to win the Washington State, you need to do it. You want to create the channels, the network, the business, the revenue, you want to reach, you need to do it. This is the challenge for people that want to be successful. You have to decide, do I want balance or do I want harmony?
Well, here's the thing, as you're talking, this is what I'm feeling. Balance is finding your footing and having both feet be stable on the ground. When you're striving for these achievements, you don't want your feet on the ground.
No.
You need your feet to be in motion. You need to be leaping. So harmony is having that grace around you that as you leap, you don't stub your toe and trip and fall and break your hip, you know? I mean, so no, balance is too stagnant for big movement.
Why do you think women, I mean, I'm a corporate consultant, right? I have a successful corporate consulting career. I have a corporate executive career. I remember everybody work-life balance for women. And hello, anyone out there, tell me how you've achieved it. Because most of the women that I know and that I coach, they want something more, whether it's a better relationship, it doesn't matter. And they will go to any length to do this. Now, I'm going to say this last thing to you because this is important to me. My coach said to me, he said, you and everyone on your team has to be on the same page or you will not succeed. And I just looked at him and I said, why? He said, this is the year of collective consciousness and action.
Mm-hmm.
You can't drag anybody along that's not meeting goals, but help them make it. Help them set their own goals and help them buy into it and support them and get them what they need, Pat. Get them funding, get them furniture, get them equipment, get them people. And he was so clear to me about that as if I didn't know it, but I forgot. The other thing he also said, which was extreme, for those of you, I know you're going to email me. I both men and women coaches, so I just want to say that. The other thing that he was very clear about to me was you're not part of a cosmic joke with the network, Pat. You have not worked 20 years. Jessica's not worked. Nobody here has worked to be laughed at by the universe. You just have to figure out how to operate like a fine-tuned engine. Keep it oiled, make sure gas is in the tank, and don't be afraid to put the pedal to the metal. That's his message to me.
Cool. I love it. So we're going to take a quick break, but what I wanted to throw in so we can remember when we come back, one of the key words I had written down for 2024 was community. And you just that's exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break and come right back. Hi, I'm Doc Martin, Maximum Medicine Radio, here with Dr. Pat and Jesica Henderson. And we're going to finish up about 2024 with something Pat was talking about. And her coaches were telling her how to get the team all on the same page and get them all working in their own well-oiled machine ways. Community is huge. Community is huge. And I found a community in the Transformation Talk Network. I want to put Jesica on in just a second, but 7 years ago, Jess, maybe, out of the blue, I get an email because Jesica, here's the magic, guys. Who knows what dragons were behind this? Jesica stumbled, and I mean stumbled, across my website and asked me if I considered being a host. And something opened up in me. Talk about stepping into more, stepping out of anything I saw for myself. and I started Maximum Medicine on the Transformation Talk Network. And since that time, with the help of this community, and I want Jess to talk about Transformation Talk Network and the incredible things that it's doing for the world. So Jess, I'm putting you on the spot.
I'm happy to be, and it was the fire within, right?
Yes.
Yep.
And so, that just to me, I felt it was very intuitive for me. I wanted to know what that was, and I wanted to know the story behind it. And that's how we are here. I mean, every single person on this team has some kind of incredible, magical, intuitive ability, whether they know it or not, or whether they've tapped into it or not. But there's a reason we end up here, and it's how we find people, and it's how we continue to expand our community. And we have the best hosts on the planet, and it's because we're all in this same energetic vibration that we, at our core, we're here because we want to transform the world in some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
And we've probably gone through our own transformations as well along the way, and some of us are still going through them. I think we all are, actually. And that's what Dr. Pat has built, and that is what she's built in our team and the people that are on our network. And every single action we take is based on feedback from people. How do you want to get your message out? Where do you want to get your message out? And how do you want to make an impact in the world? And everything is then designed around that. And we're both, I would say, a mix of cheerleaders, and, pushing people outside of what they think they can do, because that's what we need to grow and expand, and that's what the world needs. And the world needs more voices, just like yours, Doc, just like yours, Dr. Pat, just like the other hosts on our network. The world needs these type of voices and these types of messages more than ever, all the time. And we continue to evolve and grow and expand and provide the platform for it to happen. And I would say in the most authentic way possible, because there's a lot of media out there. There's a lot of podcasting out there. There's a lot of social media. But the thing that's missing from most of it is that energetic authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we bring to the table. And like you said, the community aspect. So I'm proud and happy to be here and a part of it.
And everyone holding the goal to make things better.
Yes.
That's not true for all podcasts and radio hosts out there. So Dr. Pat, what's coming down the pike? What are you helping Transformation Talk Network evolve into?
It's going to be really brief. This is a vision that had to wait for the world of technology to catch up. We built the infrastructure for our technology. I don't know, Jessica, 2009, when we launched TTR, and we couldn't fully launch it all. And when I say that, people look at me like, what do you mean? Well, wait a minute. Everybody wants to think about like the cloud. No, the cloud wasn't there right? We had to wait for the technology, especially the server and the cybersecurity technology, to be ready for us. We've been using this technology for 15 years. There isn't another organization that does what we does that has anything like it. And this year, it's time. So by February 1st, you're going to see 2 new channels out of the gate, new websites, new features in our technology, new ways to transfer from a talk podcast venue to complete video. All of your widget players will be updated. We have a great programming team, and it's going to happen. So this month is us owning our voice and telling the world in detail what we're doing. In addition, we're going to open up a crowdfunding platform, and we're going to say, do you want to be part of this network? See, it's not just going to be Transformation Talk anymore. We are the Transformation Network. That is a forum for everything transformative. It's going to be a place for summits that we run, for retreats that we run, for articles, for our own magazine, for hosts to participate and engage. Every one of you will participate in the development of AI for the soul. I mean, this is such a pivotal year. When I said more, I wasn't kidding. But we've planned for it, and I'm telling you, we've all worked very hard. Late hours, weekends, Jessica, the team, Linda, myself, all of the other producers that have come through here. But it's like I said, this is the year to flip the switch. And those that have really done the work, they know when to flip the switch. And when you do, the lights will be bright, because that's the energy of this. For us, we have a community. We look at you all as our family. But this year, we're growing the community, and you all are an integral part of that. You know, none of this happens without your wisdom, without your messaging. And that's what excites me about it. Last thing I want to say, I never thought, I didn't, that I'd work with such a genius team of people. I mean, I don't even know what planet Jessica comes from, but Chris and Kim and Merrick and Sierra, right? Emily, Linda, my graphic artist who designed almost everything for you, including some of the cover work on your book. I mean, there are people that I can't even mention that have been integral in part of this. You know, when you think about what Chris does and how she stepped up in the role, and you see what Jessica has done to evolve from an intern from the Institute in Seattle to a senior leadership role. Jessica is a senior executive in this company. And when I decide to step away from operations, this will be hers. You see, that's what you develop. You develop that kind of mentorship, and it's mutual with people around you. But Sharon, you've got to hold them up high, because if you hold them up higher than where they are today, they will claw their way to get there for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're able to do what we're doing. You know, I had a vision. I had some technology background from the phone company. Oliver in Germany, who built the first tech from Germany, Merrick, who's designing it now, Nick, our server. You can't build this alone. That's the message for 2024. You can't build it alone.
Well, I want to take a minute to invite anybody out there. You have a message for the world. You have thoughts. You have things you want to share. Just take a minute and allow yourself to free float into the possibility that you too could be a host. Because I never thought, but I let myself see the possibility. And then I stepped in and I have grown. I have an Amazon best-selling book. I'm about to be accepted. I know I'm going to be accepted for a TED Talk. This is the kind of place that this community and support for you. So if anybody out there has even the faintest hint that they want to come be a host, make sure you get in touch with Jessica. You can find that on the website. But just that community helped me grow in unbelievable ways. So thank you to Dr. Pat and to Jessica, because you guys were pivotal in me transforming. So thank you.
I think it's been an honor. Yeah. Jessica, I have a question for Jess. What's your personal message, Jessica? What do you want to say?
I want to say it really is now time to stand in that power that's been bubbling for all of us and say yes to yourself and say yes to your dreams and say yes to being part of something bigger than yourself in all of that, and let the fear go and find your community and find your people and just go, because that's what we're all needing.
Mm-hmm. And I want to tell you this last thing, Jessica, and I think you'll talk to it. I want to mention Linda. There are 3 of us that make decisions. We're very different. Linda's a triple Virgo, very different, but we get there. And in the only way that I know Linda saying what she says, and I can't say it on air, she said to me, I don't know when, a day ago, she said, listen, you Baccili, we need to, you know what, or get off the pot. That's the other message for 2024. So beautifully put by Linda Firing, who is our executive of, I mean, these two women have done more than anybody can even imagine. So proud of them.
Wonderful. So 2024 is going to be potent. And just know that when you're stepping into your essence and you're really letting go of the fear, you are surrounded by helpers, nature spirits, guardian angels, dragon energy. So happy 2024. Call the dragons in to help you. We are thrilled that you listen and watch us. And thank you, Dr. Pat. Thank you, Jesica. And Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
You've been listening to Maximum Medicine Radio with Doc Martin. Tune in next time while the doc talks health, spirituality, and the impact your beliefs have on every part of who you are, body and soul. Doc Martin unpacks the challenges we face as human beings and teaches callers to open the door between the scientific and the mystical. To learn more about Doc Martin and Maximum Medicine, visit www.sharonmartinmd.com.